What's going on, everyone? My name is izzynumerouno. If you clicked on this video, I'm assuming that you're either dealing with grief at this moment, maybe you've dealt with it in the past and still haven't gotten over it, maybe a combination of the two. Either way, the point of this video is helping you through those feelings and having a better understanding of grief in general. Now, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm someone who has dealt with a great amount of loss, and especially in these last few years. I've lost, cousins, my father, my best friend. So I've dealt with quite a few, and not only have I dealt with lost in the past, I'm currently dealing with it as my grandma has just passed away. So I'm someone who can relate to each and every one of you that are watching right now. Now, I want to start off with saying that it's okay for you guys to feel the way that you do, right? For some people, you might feel sadness, maybe anger, maybe you're overwhelmed with everything going on. It's totally understandable, and it's in a way it's natural for us to feel that way, but the the point where it gets to consuming your whole life and not allowing you to grow is where the problem lies. I was the same, for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say I've never been that type of person to let grief consume me. I mean, it's done it time and time again. But I understand now why that can't happen and how much of a problem it was altogether. For example, when my best friend passed, it took months and months and months for me to even go back to a normal life. There was times where I couldn't get out of bed. There was times where I wasn't motivated to do anything. There was times where in my mind, all I thought about was how I wasn't going to see my friend again. And at a certain point, I realized, would my friend want that from me? If they saw me at that point in time doing what I was doing, which was a lot of nothing, would they be proud of me? And the answer was no. So I had to switch my mindset. I had to switch my state of mind. I had to switch the way I viewed everything. And hopefully, I can help you guys do that by the end of this video. Hopefully, you guys can find some way to have some peace of mind and find a way to allow yourself to keep growing even though you're in this type of situation. Let's focus on the term memento mori now. If you guys haven't heard that before, it translates into remember you must die. This wasn't supposed to be some type of morbid or a term that was supposed to scare anyone. In fact, it did the exact opposite. It basically just tells us that we're all humans, we're all the same, we're all in these physical bodies. And at some point, our physical bodies have to die. And with all of us having the understanding that we're the same and that we have to go at some point, it makes death feel a little bit less scary in a sense. Socrates says that Death may be the greatest of all human blessings.
Write that down, write that down!
I agree to a certain extent. For anyone who's been to, I'll say, a Christian funeral, right? Because I'm not sure about like Muslim or Buddhist or any other religion, but specifically Christian funerals, one of the first things they say is it's a celebration of life, right? And I feel like a lot of people miss over that because of the mind state that they're in. Um, Especially, I know for myself, there's been plenty of funerals where I don't even know what the preacher, the person speaking, is even talking about. Like I'm totally out of a day. I'm in a daze. I'm, you know, phasing out. I'm not even really listening to them. But with each time, I know that that specifically is something that they say each time. It's a celebration of life, and that's a part where I think a lot of people just skip over because they don't want to hear. But it's true. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more, but I want to get into some more of what Socrates says about the topic because a lot of it translates into the modern world. Socrates wants us to follow the law of reason. He wants us to be patient in the face of suffering, and we should not give way to impatience for the following reasons. There is no way to be certain whether the events that befall us will turn out to be good or bad for us. Many of our greatest setbacks in life turn out to be for the best, and they often opportunities or blessings in disguise. But what matters most is whether we respond wisely or foolishly to events. So let's stop right there for a second. Now, what he's saying could be misunderstood very easily. We're not looking at anyone passing away in our lives as a good thing, right?
I hope so.
But there's ways to make good out of it. Now, I'll explain. For example, like I said before, I'm dealing with loss at this current moment. My grandma has passed not too long ago, and she didn't live very close to me. In fact, she was about an 8-hour drive from where I live now. So, me and my sisters and both of their boyfriends, we all went on a road trip to go see all the family and attend the funeral. Now, what I've got out of all of that, and the good I've got out of it, I should say, is spending time with my sisters was always great. Having a road trip, it was super fun. And then seeing family down there was it. I don't even have a word for it. It was rejuvenating, really. Seeing family members and people that you care about that you haven't seen in so long and seeing how they've changed, um seeing little cousins and little nephews and brothers and all that type of stuff is and seeing them grow up, it's amazing to see, right? And it makes you think that I don't want to always be down here for funerals or weddings or just events in general. It makes you want to go see these people whenever you have free time or regardless if there's a death in the family or anything like that. It makes you want to see them just because. And that's where I saw the good in this situation. So that's why I believe Socrates is going with it. There could be good in it. You never know. Also, another example, when my best friend passed, he was someone that I looked at as a go getter, a goal setter, and a goal achiever. He was someone who was going to follow his dreams and make them happen, and make them a reality no matter what. When he passed, it gave me such motivation, not because he passed. I'm not a
I
psychopath.
hope so.
But it gave me such motivation to follow what I'd like to do because I know that's what he was doing. And if he was still here, he'd be doing that right now. So he's one of the main reasons that I started this YouTube channel. So again, there is some good that can come out of these bad situations. You just have to look for them. Socrates also says, we gain nothing by taking misfortunes badly. Grieving over much simply adds another layer to our problem. Like I said, I was someone who I spent months and months and months not being able to get out of bed, making excuses that I can't do this and that because of how I'm feeling in the mind state. I would put off a lot of important things in my life because I just couldn't get through it. I was angry, I was upset at the world, and I wasted so much time being upset instead of growing and helping myself. And I don't want to say I regret it because I don't want to regret anything. I don't You can't go back. So it's no point in regretting stuff, but I just use that for the future and the now and understand that I need to keep my mind state in a well place, right? And not let things consume me. Guys, real quick, please like and subscribe. This video took so fucking long to edit. I haven't edited anything in 10 years. Yeah, we can tell. Shit looks trash. Do better. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you guys. No human affairs are of great importance anyway in the grand scheme of things, so they're not worth taking seriously enough to get highly upset about them. This is more of like a religious take on grief. Socrates is basically saying that this world we're living in is just temporary, and after this is where the real life starts, is where the real important things start. And whether that might be heaven, whether that might be um whatever you guys believe in, that is where life really starts after this physical life is done, after we've shedded this physical body that can hurt and can be sick and wither away. We'll be in this eternal life afterwards, which is where life will start. Grief actually stands in the way and prevents us from exercising reason, the very thing that would help us most when faced with adversity. So yeah, back to like what we were saying before, like letting things consume you, letting your emotions run over you and having all of these different, thoughts of negativity, but not having any reason in it, right? Like for example, let's say let's say your grandfather passed
Y'all gonna understand. Yeah.
because of old age, right? Maybe he was like 98, 99, and he just, he wasn't like sick or anything, but his body just gave up on you. Being extremely upset about that and letting it take over your emotions for days and on days, it doesn't have any reason to it. And I know what you guys are going to think, that's my grandfather. I understand. I'm not saying you can't be sad at all. But think about this. The grandfather was going to pass at some point anyway. And with them being so old and with their body being so withered out and weak, what what can you expect, It had to have happened at some point. Okay, pause right there. That was kind of fucked up. I'll admit. Now that was a little low. I don't want people to take that last point in the wrong way and think that I don't have any empathy or anything like that. No, no, it's not like that. The point I was trying to make is that we're not seeing death as a bad thing that'll happen to that specific person. We're thinking about it in a way of how it affects us. So, us never being able to talk to them again or interact with them or hear from them, see it from them, the whole nine yards. We'll never be able to do that from them. And we feel that sadness within ourselves. And it's almost like a selfish aspect to it because with in that example with an older person who's on their last limb, who's you know about to go out anyway, they feel a lot better having that peace, that not having that old worn out body anymore, then moving on to the next phase. They feel amazing now. And us still on earth, we don't really see that aspect of it. We just kind of think of ourselves and how it affects us in our lives. And that's a hard thing to think about and to go through, but it's it's reality at the end of at the end of the day. And we have to think about these things with reason. We have to think about it uh, in a reasonable manner. That's pretty much the point I'm making. Um, Hopefully, I explained it a little bit more. All right, back to the video. When you can express reason in these situations, you have to do your best to do so because it's only going to help you out in the long run. I want to talk about a philosopher named Zhang Za or Zhuangzi. Hold up. Let me write it out here. We're going to call him Big Za for now, right? All right. So Big Za says, "The living all find death unpleasant. Men mourn over it, and yet what is death but the unbending of a bow and its return to its case?" Big Za is really interesting to me because he has an idea of where if we celebrate a baby turning to a toddler, toddler turning to a preteen, kid turning to a teen, teen turning to an adult, why are we not celebrating when someone passes away? Because it's just another phase in life that we have to go through. So it should be something that should be celebrated. And that goes back to my point before, where in modern days, and at least in Christian funerals, we're told that this is a celebration of life. And again, it's something that we overlook because in the moment, we don't want to hear that. We just want some type of peace of mind. And the thing is, if you're not willing to hear that, or if you're not willing to look at things in a different light, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get that peace of mind. Grief comes in a lot of different ways, right? It's not only about losing loved ones, through them passing away. It could also mean losing friends, right? Maybe a friend did you wrong, maybe you've done a friend wrong, and that relationship has now gone away. Maybe you lost a job that you really loved. There's a whole different aspects of grief, and I feel we need to look at them in similar ways. I wouldn't say the exact same, but we need to look at them in similar ways. We need to understand that this physical world is just an illusion, right? Everything that happens in your life has started in here. And we've all heard of manifesting, we've all heard of, things of that nature, but understand that you have the ability to choose how you react to things. You have the ability to change things that are in your life, but it all starts with how you think about stuff. So I don't want to go too deep into that topic because I feel we can do a whole nother video on that specifically. But just remember, You are in charge of your life. And it all starts with how you think about things. It all starts with your mind state. If you want to react better to grief, think about it, visualize it, and allow yourself to think differently than how you have been before. And I promise it'll be a whole lot easier. How I specifically deal with it is exactly that. I let myself understand things from a different perspective. Not only that, but I've been on a self improvement journey for, I want to say, a month now. And my grandma passing, it sucks to say, but it was good timing.
What?
Wait, let me cook. Because if it was any earlier before my self improvement journey, I would not be in front of this camera. I honestly would I would have lost my mind for sure. I would have lost my mind. But the fact that I am growing, I'm working on myself, I'm in a different mind state that I was before. I can handle it. You know what I mean? I handled it a lot better because I'm in the situation I am now, because I'm working on myself.
Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
So if you guys have troubles with that, try working on other aspects of your life and see if that crosses over and helps you out. I'm sure it will. It helped me. I'll take it from here. If you get anything out of this video, let it be that last point. Work on yourself, find some peace of mind outside of the tragedy, and I promise this whole process will be a lot easier for you. If that doesn't work, think of other things that can distract you. Go on a walk, pick up a hobby, um, read different types of books, anything that can get your mind off of that bad situation that you're feeling. Um, if you made it this far in the video, first off, thank you. I really appreciate it. But if you made it this far, I want you to comment. Hmm, Comment pizza party. Yeah, something random like that. Comment pizza party. Have everyone confused. Everyone who hasn't made it this far, they'll be like, what the fuck are they talking about in the comments? Comment pizza party. And just remember, guys, you're not alone. We all are going to feel like this at one way or another. Uh, what differentiates different. What makes us different is how we react to it. So just keep in mind that your reality is all based on how you think about things. So that's going to be it for today. Remember, my name is Izzy Numero Uno, but you guys are the real number ones. Thank you.